There have been a ton of massive updates across the board for Xbox this week, including the likes of some brand new hardware, huge updates to Xbox cloud gaming in general, new games being announced, and just so much more. We should have even more incredible news still coming out for this week, including the likes of an Xbox showcase, so do make sure to subscribe down below. With that though, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's just dive right into the news that occurred over this past week. It's been just over a month now since the ROG Xbox Ally and ROG Xbox Ally X handhelds have first debuted onto the scene, and I know that many of us have actually been waiting over the past few weeks to basically hear from Asus how well they fared in terms of their sales numbers. Well, in an investor call as of yesterday, the company then highlighted the success of the premium ROG Xbox Ally X model in particular. They did actually point out that the stock has been in short supply, and they've actually underestimated demand of this certain device. As a result of this, they basically stated that production is ramping up to basically fill the demand that still exists. For myself, I've actually seen in recent weeks that the Ally X model is certainly one that is out of stock in certain areas around the world, whereas the cheaper ROG Xbox Ally model doesn't seem to have suffered the same issues, unfortunately. I would be incredibly keen to hear though if you've managed to get your hands on this device and what your thoughts are on it so far. I've actually had mine now for a little while, so you can expect my sort of month later review over the next couple of days. If you are in the market for a premium Xbox mobile controller though that works across both Android and iOS, then you might be interested in the Backbone Pro Xbox Edition, which has just been announced over this past week. This is actually a pretty expensive controller though, as this is about £170 here in the UK or $180. However, it does come with loads of high-level features, including both USB-C, Bluetooth wireless connectivity options, ALPS thumbsticks, laser-etched texture grips, Hall effect sticks, and even rear buttons. Plus, they did include 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate into the package, and since the price hike, it's now pretty valuable, of course. You may remember though that the original Backbone 1 Xbox Edition launched, I believe, earlier this year, and reviewers did have actually quite positive things to say about the device at its time of its release. The Pro is basically a more expensive version due to it including 2 forms of connectivity rather than just the one, and obviously it does have other features as well, including those aforementioned Hall effect triggers. I do personally expect though we might see more handhelds like this coming out within the near future, especially from a lot of third-party devs, especially as Xbox cloud gaming is becoming more popular and used throughout the world at this moment in time. That does lead me onto our next news story though, especially regarding cloud gaming. Right now, the biggest problem that's affecting Microsoft's plans to basically get every single Xbox gamer invested within the cloud gaming ecosystem is the sheer fact that it's not available in most countries at the moment. However, the service has now reached a brand new milestone as the Xbox Cloud Gaming November 2025 update brings in support to its 30th region, and that was India. That means that all Xbox Game Pass subscribers in India can now access cloud streaming features from mobile, laptops, and just anything really that supports your internet, including your smart fridge. Having a deeper look though, it seems as though Xbox cloud gaming servers open in India after a launch party on Tuesday the 11th of November, so this should be available to you right now if you're within that specific region. At the event, Microsoft basically explained that they're currently having 2 xCloud server networks running in the country at this moment in time, but with this latest expansion, I do kind of hope this signals that Microsoft's cloud service does continue to expand even further to support even more unsupported regions within the near future. Personally, I think this is absolutely excellent news, though it sure would have been a little more excellent had Microsoft gotten those servers running quicker, especially as India is a massive country in terms of video game players. Still, it is now available, which is great to see, and again, I expect we may see more expansions rather soon. It's no secret, but Stellar Blade has been a massive hit on both PlayStation 5 and PC, and earlier this summer, I heard that a Switch 2 port was reportedly being considered by the developer Shift Up. Well, now there have been some more details that the game is being considered for additional platforms more generally, and that's coming straight from the horse's mouth. In a new studio earnings call shared by outlet Tech for Gamers, the team was actually asked about its Stellar Blade plans in Q4 2025 and then heading into next year. The developer actually stated that it's planning various promotional activities relating to this game before going on to say that it's also considering additional platform expansions in the near future. Of course, while Xbox isn't directly mentioned here, the team does state platform expansions, and that basically hints that multiple ports are on the table, and that ultimately, if they want to get the game on as many devices as possible, we should see it arrive onto Xbox fairly soon. Obviously, we have been treated by the likes of Helldivers 2 this year, and I have no doubt we may see more games that were traditionally PlayStation and PC only titles coming to Xbox down the line in the near future. It may be worth noting that a couple of games now have Xbox Play Anywhere support, so if you have either already on Xbox or via Xbox on PC, then now you can play them vice versa, and progression will now also carry across different devices. First up is Dark Light, and it's a riveting Souls-like game that features fast-paced combat in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, in the aftermath of the apocalypse, the world is shrouded in an impenetrable darkness, and you are entrusted with a daunting task: to seal the Dark Void and rescue humanity from an impending doom. The game has been highly rated across Xbox and Steam since its launch, so it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't done so already. You then also have Heading Out, which is an incredibly stylish and cool sort of road trip adventure. Basically, you step into the role of an outlaw on the run across America, navigating choices that affect both the journey and the outcome. You'll be put behind the wheel of a white muscle car, and you'll pick different routes, encounter allies or threats, and gradually unlock new vehicles by progressing through the different acts. Again, it's another highly rated indie, and it's so bloody great to see these two opted into the Xbox Play Anywhere support pretty recently. One of the biggest news stories for this week though has to be the reveal of 3 brand new bits of hardware from Valve themselves, and it's been causing an almighty stir online, especially with many outlets, yet again, stating that Xbox is dead. I have come to expect all manner of negativities these days when it comes to anything sort of resembling any remote competition with Xbox these days, so I'm really not surprised, but then again, I do have really different thoughts to many on this brand new system. I have already made a video though covering the majority of the details of the brand new system, how it will change how Xbox thinks, and so much more, so make sure to check out that video if you want to hear more of my thoughts on Valve's brand new hardware. If you are also enjoying this Xbox news update as well and want to see more Xbox content on a daily basis, along with these news videos every single week, then please do subscribe down below. At the moment, over 68% of you are not subscribed, and I would just love for you to join our growing Xbox community. Thanks so much for the support, and let's just dive back into the news over the past week. We've heard quite a bit in the past how some indie developers found it tough to bring their games to Xbox for whatever reason. Stuff like the Mortuary Assistant, for example, where it basically ended up in having to be delayed on the Xbox alone. It's not a common thing that crops up though, but Microsoft understandably wants to make it as simple as possible for future developers and publishers to put their games onto Xbox, and therefore they're unlocking access to the Xbox Game Publishing Guide for absolutely everyone as of this week. Even you, yes, you the audience, you can access the guide online, and it really gives you more of an insight into the Xbox game publishing process. I think the idea behind this though is to essentially allow all potential developers and publishers to plan, prepare, and even launch their games onto Xbox, and that includes for consoles, PC, and their brand new handheld devices. Microsoft also says that documentation will continue to grow and improve over time, and developers can use a dedicated Discord to essentially discuss and share their different information, as well as in other communities as well. Of course, this is very interesting timing with the Steam Machine on the way in early 2026, as well as rumours that Xbox is trying to combine a sort of console/PC hybrid for the next generation of Xbox consoles. Simply put, the days of players being locked to a closed-off console ecosystem are starting to feel antiquated. You've probably heard that term too many times now. And it does seem that Microsoft is also feeling that as well. This could be great though for game players, especially into 2026. In case you missed my sort of very creative YouTube short the other day, then Red Dead Redemption will now be receiving a Series X and S upgrade on the 2nd of December, and this sees quite a few improvements across the board for this old game. This means stuff like 60 FPS, 4K support, enhanced HDR tech, and so much more. It will be free for all existing owners of the Xbox One digital version, not the 360, and simply only requires a downloaded update. We don't have a fixed price yet for the upgraded version though for all new enjoyers of this game, but I totally expect we will have a store listing going live over the next few days. Of course though, we will still have the Xbox Game Pass news as of tomorrow, so subscribe and stay tuned for that video, but Xbox has now revealed the next batch of 5 games that are set to leave Xbox Game Pass in late November, and I won't lie, these are actually some pretty huge games that are leaving the service. The games leaving Game Pass include the likes of Octopath Traveler, Octopath Traveler 2, and even Lords of the Fallen. The first two are classic Square Enix RPGs which are utterly fantastic, whilst the latter is a pretty awesome action RPG. Most of these games though will be available with a discount of at least 20% I believe until they leave Xbox Game Pass in late November, and you may find some of them will be discounted by even more as Black Friday sales will soon be arriving onto the Xbox storefront. I just hope we do have some big and brand new announcement in the Xbox Game Pass news that we should see this coming week. What do you think about the Xbox news and updates over this past week? Are you going to be picking up that brand new hardware that Xbox have just revealed for cloud gaming, or does cloud gaming even interest you at all? You'll have to let me know in the comments below, and let's just have a discussion about it. Again, if you enjoyed this news video, do smash that like button as it really gives me that great feedback, and do subscribe for more Xbox content like this on a daily basis. Thanks so much again for your support recently, and if you want to check out some more awesome Xbox content, why don't you check out the video on screen right now. As mentioned, I did cover all the aspects when it came to the Steam Machine and its recent reveal, so make sure to check out that video and my opinions on what it means for the future of Xbox.